Hey guys, welcome to Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews, and we're looking at last night's Raw 25 from both the Manhattan Center and the Barclays Center. And let's have a look. So we started off the show with Stephanie McMahon and Shane O'Mac in the center of the ring, talking about the past, the present and the future of Raw, and saying that we are just starting. They also called out Vince McMahon to come out to celebrate 25 years. The man who created Raw, he comes out and he smells the roses, he thanks the fans. And then Stephanie and Shane give him a plank and he goes mental and he turns into Mr. McMahon, which is awesome to see, which means that Stone Cold came out, pretty much didn't say anything, flipped everyone off, which is always cool. Then he looks at Mr. McMahon in the eyes. Mr. McMahon's like, "Oh, don't do it, Austin. I'm an old man. I've got arthritis. I live in a retirement home." And get Shane. He's younger. Look at him. He's in his prime. And Stone Cold stunners Shane. Mr. McMahon and Stone Cold have a beer and they're hugging all this lot. And then he gets stunned himself, which was cool. Stone Cold lays a beer next to Shane. Shane gets back up, drinks the beer, and he gets stunned. So that was quite a cool way. And then obviously we had the Stone Cold drinking beers from all the sides of the ring, which was awesome. But yeah, it's a good way to start the show. I enjoyed it. So yeah. Then we get to the first disappointment of the night, and that was the 8-women tag team match with Team Asuka taking Team Nia Jax, which pretty much meant Asuka had Mickie James, Bayley and Sasha Banks taking on Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville and Alicia Fox. And to be honest, the reason this match is going to be such a big disappointment for most fans is because if you were like me, you saw it start off where you saw Asuka have a little bit of a fight, tagged in Sasha Banks, went straight to adverts after that, and then when we came back, the match was pretty much over. Sasha Banks hits the bank statement and tap out win. And I was like, is that it? Is that all we get? There's no middle bit, it's just start and finish? Did we miss something? Of course we missed something, because it was in during the adverts. Thank you WWE, because I'm staying up late just to watch segments. No, I want to watch matches as well, and this was a big loss. Yes, we did have a little bit of a positive when Asuka chucked out all her teammates out of the ring after the victory, but that alone couldn't save this segment itself. Then we had our first part at the Manhattan Center, and that was the Undertaker's return. And to be honest, he looked like a badass. But it's a good bit and it's a disappointing bit for two reasons. Positive, we got to see the Undertaker, which is always cool. But did we just see the Undertaker officially retire? I think we did, guys. We pretty much stated you're gonna, it made no sense what he cut in a promo, but what I got from it was the Undertaker's retired. And yes, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, we're gonna get Undertaker versus, John Cena." It wasn't gonna happen, guys. After last year with that ceremony at the end of WrestleMania, putting him last, it makes sense to retire the Undertaker. It was cool to see him again, but it makes sense that he's officially retired. You know what that means? Maybe Hall of Fame? Who knows? So we get to the Intercontinental Championship match, and before that even starts, we had a call out of some of Raw's former GMs. So we had John Laurinaitis, William Regal, which people were going mental and screaming NXT, which is always cool. And we also had Eric Bischoff as well. And as a special guest, we had Daniel Bryan. And the crowd went mental. Yes, Daniel is not been Raw GM, but he's SmackDown GM. But the crowd still loves to see themselves some Daniel Bryan. The Miz comes out. Him and Daniel Bryan have a face-off, which was awesome. And then we kick off the show, the match itself. And the match itself, like I've already said during the night, was going to be a quick-paced match because of so many segments and legends and superstars at Raw. But the match itself was good. Even though it's so quick, it was a good match. either time you didn't know who was going to continue, who was going to win. Sometimes Roman looked very, very strong. The Miz, though, performance-wise, fantastic, sold so well. And Roman as well. People give Roman crap, but he did sell well against the Miz. And the Miz Taraj getting involved, distracting the referee, allowing the Miz to take off a turnbuckle, which was awesome. And Roman going into that turnbuckle, knocking his head, skull crushing finale. We have an 8-time Intercontinental Champion. It looks like the Miz always keeps winning the Intercontinental Championship at big events like Raw 1000 and the 25th Raw. So that was quite cool. And for me, one of my personal favourite segments which happened last night, we got to see the Peep Show again with Christian, which was awesome. People were a little bit disappointed we didn't get to see Edge, but Edge already said it from the podcast, ENC's Podcast of Awesomeness. He's too busy with other commitments with Vikings. He's back in Ireland filming, so he couldn't be there. But it was awesome to see Christian, because I'm a massive Christian fan. So seeing the Peep Show, and then his special guests were Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins. Brilliant. Jason Jordan getting booed out of a building every time he spoke, which was great. The Bar coming out, interrupting the interview, awesome, and singing, "No Jason, your dad doesn't suck, but you do," and making the crowd sing "You Suck" to Jason Jordan. They got into a bit of a fight. Seth Rollins takes out Jason Jordan, which was kind of cool. The Bar scamper off, and it's a shame we didn't really get to see Christian as much, but obviously, like I said, there's a lot of superstars and legends back for one night only. And that takes us back to the Manhattan Center, where we had Bray Wyatt taking on Woken Matt Hardy, and this was a disappointment again, because not just that the match was super quick, and again we had an advert halfway through it, but because the result was possibly the wrong result in my opinion. We had Bray Wyatt come out, the fans were really much enjoying it, and then we had Woken Matt Hardy. We had good old JR talking about both guys, talking about how Matt has changed over the years, how Bray Wyatt is a powerhouse, which was awesome. And then we cut to an advert, pretty much the match soon after. Bray Wyatt, Sister Abigail, 1, 2, 3, gets the win. And for me, that is the wrong result. You want to build up Woken Matt Hardy, not sell him off. And I know fans are like, well, you complain about Bray getting beaten. And I thought, no, this should have ended in DQ, allows both men's story to continue. Where we're going to go from here, who knows. Then we had what I called the Elias segment, where we saw Elias at the start walking to the ring, where he was introduced to a certain list. Yes, we saw Chris Jericho returning wearing his Alpha Club shirt, which was goddamn awesome, by the way. Saying he wrote a song and pretty much wrote Elias onto the list and called him a stupid idiot, which everyone started repeating. Then we saw the stupid Elias bit where he sings and calls all legends idiots and fools, and Jimmy Fallon, whatever his name is, was there as well, called him an idiot. And he was interrupted by John Cena. Elias pretty much gets out of the ring. John does his big spiel. Elias says, "Shut up, no one cares." They have a bit of a tussle, a bit of a back and forth. Elias hits him with a low blow, goes out of the ring, picks up his guitar and smacks Cena over the back with it. And that's a good way to make someone feel like a legitimate threat. You've kind of built up Elias there now that he's taken out John Cena, but we all know that that means John Cena is just going to eliminate him at the Royal Rumble. Bit of a shame, but right now, good way to build up a star, so I'm giving it a positive. Then we got, throughout the night, APA poker game segment, which was always back and forth throughout the night, which was cool. First we started off with the APA taking on Heath Slater in a poker match. Then the $1 Million Man turned up. Then Jeff Hardy. Then the Usos. Then Natalya. Then MVP turned up, which was cool. And then You had Titus Worldwide, the New Day turn up as well. That was kind of cool. Titus Worldwide accused Heath Slater of cheating, which he did, because he lost all his life savings in the match. Heath called him out to a match. They had a bit of a brawl. We did it again. It looked like we were going to get another match. The match ended in non-contact because both teams started smacking the crap out of each other. But that's not the important thing. The Dudley Boyz return, and we went to Dudleyville for one last night, it seemed. They pretty much everyone ran out of the ring when they turned up, and the Dudleys are just calling out anyone. So Reiner, Titus and Apollo just pick up Heath Slater, chuck him into the centre of the ring, and he gets 3D'd through a table, which was awesome. And then you had the Dudleys, Reiner and Titus Worldwide celebrating in the ring. Made no sense because Reiner was obviously Heath Slater's tag team partner, but obviously it makes sense for me a little bit because it's ECW. So yeah, it was kind of cool to see. Stupid, but cool to see. I won't say it was anything else. As well, like, we had a special guest from the GMs. We had special guests from legendary women's wrestlers. Started off with the Bella Twins, Kelly Kelly. Trish Stratus was the biggest one there. Michelle Cool. All that, you know, absolutely a handful of absolute legends returning, and that was cool. But yeah, Trish Stratus got the biggest pop that night out of all of them, and it was cool to see her again. A bit disappointing we didn't see Elias. That would have been absolutely awesome to see. Then back to the Manhattan Center, and what we had the DX experience, and it was slightly disappointing. It was cool to see, slightly, but it's like when you go and see an awesome, you know, say you love this rock band from like 20 years ago. I mean, you go and see them live today, and you notice they're kind of slower, they're not as agile on stage, and you just go, and they're just playing the same songs they've been playing for years, and you're just like, yeah, that's cool, but yeah, you guys are just living off that 1-2 songs. That's what it kind of felt like for me watching the DX experience. Shawn Michaels and Triple H came out, and that was cool. And Shawn obviously tried to plug the WWE Network, got booed as hell from the Manhattan Center, thank God. Then you had Road Dogg and Billy Gunn come out, which was cool, the New Age Outlaws. Then we had X-Pac come out, Razor Ramon, and you know, we had Razor coming out, we had Scott Hall himself coming out to the ring, and then hit with an advert again, another advert, when it's like, what? We've got to see Razor. Nope, advert. Okay, thanks for that. And then we finally got back and we saw them all too sweeting, and then because they were too sweeting, that called out the Balor Club, who also too sweeted with DX and Razor, which was cool. And that meant, but we also had a match at the Manhattan Center as well, where we had the Revival take on Gallows and Anderson. And it was, again, a quick match, nothing very special towards the match. But the shame was the Revival got hit by everyone from DX and Finn Balor. And it was kind of like, yeah, you kind of gonna bury the Revival. Probably one of the best tag teams we've seen in a long time. Fantastic. But we did get to see Too Sweet, which was kind of cool. But it was a bad segment, and yeah, not great WWE. And that takes us to the final part of the night, where we had Braun Strowman, Kane and Brock Lesnar getting into the centre of the ring to each other. And we started off with a lot of legends and superstars outside the ring to keep people safe, I guess. I don't know. Braun Strowman comes out, then Kane comes out at the start, toss, about to hit each other. Then Paul Heyman comes out, interrupts everyone. Brock Lesnar gives him the Universal title, takes out Braun, takes out Kane. Braun gets back up, takes out Brock Lesnar through a table, and that was it. not really what you want to see on the last bit of a show, really. It was kind of disappointing, no one really cared, and I think most of the fans at that point were just so angry with what didn't happen that it kind of made the last segment, which could have been really cool, felt really rushed, and it again felt very, very rushed. Just didn't work out as what WWE were hoping, I think. And there you go, guys, that was Raw 25. What did I think of it? I thought it was an absolute disgrace for 25 years. Yes, we had some good bits. We had The Miz win the Intercontinental Championship back. But apart from that, there wasn't that much I was happy to see. Christian, great to see. Stone Cold Stunner, Mr. McMahon, good to see. Asuka pushing out the women out of the ring, yeah, it was cool to see. Undertaker's return was awesome to see the Undertaker, but not understanding what his message was. And everything else just felt a bit flat. You have all these legends, and to be honest, if you want to see the legends properly, watch WWE.com. They had better interviews. They actually interviewed the superstars who returned. It just felt like, oh, we've got all these big names, but we haven't got anything planned for them. And that was the problem with Raw 25. You had this really good idea, but executing it was poor. I don't understand the concept of having two areas. Yes, Raw, the Manhattan Center, is the birthplace of Raw, but the majority of the show was at the Barclays Center. If that was going to be the case, why didn't you just keep everything at the Barclays Center? You wouldn't have lost anything from it. And you could have had Michael Cole, JR and King Lawler working together on the commentating team. You have those legendary commentators like JR and Lawler, and yet you barely use them. They were awesome to hear. Even though we only heard them for a few minutes, they were the best bits about the Manhattan Center. And goddamn, I feel sorry for the Manhattan Center fans who were there. It seemed like they were shortchanged. Yes, you had the Undertaker and the DX come there, but all the major bits, all the other parts was at the Barclays Center. And if you looked on Twitter, the fans were shouting bullshit because there was hardly anything else. You had the 205 lot keeping them entertained during advert breaks. You can't just do that. You can't just expect fans to pay out to go to the Barclays Center and go to the Manhattan Center. And the Barclays lot, yes, they got screwed over because, let's be honest, the show itself was rushed. Every single bit was rushed, and it destroyed what Raw 25 could have been. But my God, what a disappointing way to end the show, to end the night. And I honestly feel so sorry for the fans who stayed up late like I did to watch Raw 25. Because we, over here in the UK, we stayed up. There was tons of people tweeting in the UK going, why the hell did I stay up for this? I could have just watched the highlights on the WWE website. I could have, and I should have. That's how much the show annoyed me. Yes, I saw some good bits. I got to see Stone Cold Steve Austin on TV again, but that doesn't make up for the stupidity of the show itself. This is your go-home show before one of your big 4 pay-per-views. And you just go, yeah, we're going to have legends. It doesn't matter. And yes, I know a lot of fans were angry that Edge wasn't there. CM Punk, Hulk Hogan, The Rock. Guess what? Hulk Hogan wasn't going to be there because sponsorship won't allow that. CM Punk's never going to return. We knew that's going to not happen. Yes, The Rock said he would try his best, but if he's got commitments, he's got to stay with his commitments he's already paid to do. And Edge has been saying for weeks he would not be able to get to Raw 25 because of other commitments in his acting career as well. So for me, yes, I know this is a long end segment for me and I'm complaining, but I think we built up our excitement and thought, oh, this is going to be the best show ever. By the end, it turned out that our expectations got the better of us again. And there you go, guys. What did you think of Raw 25? Did you think it was good or bad? Leave it in the comments below. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you're more than welcome to. It's at Boise88. And I'll see you guys on the SmackDown Live review.